Guys, this is my video tutorial for Jars of Clay's song entitled Truce from their record Much Afraid. I'm now filming from atop my keyboard. That's why you see keys. I have been using my keyboard more to help me with my transcription of songs, which has been greatly helpful. Being able to read music even a little bit has helped me personally. So it's good. I want to say this song's on the easier side, mostly in terms of a rhythm acoustic standalone guitar. And the electric guitars, it's more about figuring out the effects and some of the little nuanced notes that go on, which I have sort of grasped, I think, somewhat. So I will share what I have got on the acoustic guitar. I haven't full on. Maybe one day when I buy a multi-effects pedal, I'll delve into the electric parts of the albums, like playing He or something, the way it was played, with that weird chorus effect and things. But for now, here's a rhythm acoustic. You can play next to a campfire. You could play with a group, just have an electric guitarist, bass, drums, and a keyboardist assist you, and you should be able to come up with a pretty decent cover of this song. But anyway, on with the lesson. So here we go. The first suggested chord is an F sharp minor ninth that stands out for about 4 measures. The song's in 4/4 time, so 4 counts per measure, so 16 beats. If you want to do any kind of mathematical calculation, and if you're just trying to keep things in order with a group that you're playing with, having counts mapped out can help. I know it does with ours. And to a certain extent, I trust my band to figure things out because they're pretty good. But for just stuff like this, I bother with that, and I underline where the chord's first count lands, and then how long it is, and the next underlined number is where the next chord hits. There. So, and then we'll move on to verse 1. If you want to pause the video and look at it, that's cool. Go ahead and take all the time you need. If that kind of helps, because sometimes me just talking and playing might be not as understandable as seeing it on a page, kind of organized that way. That's why I like reading music. It's like seeing things on a page that they're organized. You can find everything. So anyway, there you go. An F sharp minor 9. You could basically just play a minor. You could just get away with that if you wanted to. And mostly holding out that first chord for that 16 beats makes sense when you're playing more with a group, unless you're meticulous about playing things, closer to the way they happen on a record by yourself. Although I'll be honest with you, I'd rather do that with a group, a group that's got the, figured out some version of the drum loop and a cool keyboard effect like they have on the record and stuff that makes it worth wasting somebody's 16 beats of life, 4 measures of life to do that. But anyway, you can just, if you're by yourself, you can just go right into the F minor ninth, 6th, D with F sharp in the bass, and F minor second chords, which can be simply played as easily as doing this. 3, 4, 2, 3. I'll play it one more time, and I'll play it slower, and I'll count, so it's sort of more put together. Now that method, using these 2 fingers on the 4th and 5th strings, by the way, capo 2, makes that just so much easier to just let your pinky be on the 3rd and 2nd, and then let you could let your pointer be on the 1st, and then just let go throughout those chords. So yeah, that sounds like the record to me. If you want to nitpick over the chords, go ahead. That's fine. If this gets you far enough with it, and then you do some nuance changes to make it the way you want it to be, that's fine too. This is just giving you pointing. This is just a finger pointing its way to the moon. Concentrate on the finger and you will miss out on all that heavenly glory. As Bruce Lee was known to have said, and I think maybe even C.S. Lewis was known to have said it. Maybe Bruce Lee borrowed it from C.S. Lewis. Who knows? Anyway, who knows? Lost in the annals. Oh well, good saying. At least we still have the saying. Anyway, more commentary. Verse 1. Verse 1, here we go. Verse 1, in terms of a visual understanding of it, looks like that. Take the time, pause the video, take a look at it. There you go. Okay. And on with the lesson. Okay, so we're doing what we did in the intro. We're going. So that's. Okay, now we're singing. Okay. Or someone else, some kind person is singing for us, hopefully. So we can just concentrate on our awesome guitar playing. Here we go. Fondness in the eyes that I could never open wide enough to see me through. Much to my surprise, it never orbits round the things you should hold me to. And I stand here wondering. Oops. And I am waiting. 3, 4. Okay, that was me just going into the first 4 chords of the chorus to kind of help you bridge where the verse 1 ends and the chorus begins. So we did what we did in the intro, and then we have some new chords: an E, D second, an optional D major 7th, in my opinion, an F sharp minor 7, another E, and that goes to an E minor. And that happens in, and I stand here wondering, and I am waiting. Feel free to pause the video, look at the chart, and go back and see what I'm talking about. So for the E with a capo 2, our D chord now is an E. So, and then our D second, which I just go ahead and include my first string on the 3rd fret to get the is there. And if that major 7th matters to anyone, there's a few options. You could go, and then you could say, hey, that's the first chord of Crazy Times, and you would be correct. And then you can start going off on an attention deficit disorder tangent and start going. Or you can argue about the 7th. Whatever you want to do there. Or you could continue to learn this song. I have a video for Crazy Times. Go ahead, rewind a couple videos and check it out. I did cover Crazy Times. I even did a video of me just playing just the guitar solo. I did make a heartfelt attempt to try to play that guitar solo because lead is not my thing. But I felt strong. I felt like I did a decent video for that. Otherwise, I would not have posted it. So there. Then we have another E. Okay, I mentioned the major 7th and the tangent that followed. F sharp minor 7th on Wondering. Another E on And I Am Waiting. And then I went into the first 4 chords of the first chorus. So let's look at the first chorus. Here's your first chorus there. Or can you not see it? What is that? I can't see. It'll look a lot better on a big flat screen TV or computer. There's your first chorus, all mapped out. And the next part, I called a bridge. I called it a bridge. If that was the wrong thing to call it, I'm sorry. I just needed it to have a different name from the chorus so I could distinguish the two. But pause the video, take a look at it, rewind the video if you need to take another look at it. and let's continue with the lesson. Okay, so my little chord progression I have for this is something of this nature. My hand is twisted in all the thoughts, a glimpse of truth just because it's always all roads never close. I close my eyes, hide the distance. Okay, come on, finger. Okay, and then I went and tried to go into the bridge, and I'm trying to show you what I playing for the bridge, but let's worry about the chorus first. If you're especially if you're a beginner. B minor is either this for some of you or this for others of you. It doesn't change the notes, it's just the way that the fingers line up on it. And you could do it this way or this way too. I just try to do chords in ways that when I flow from one end to the other, it's as effortless as possible. I always suggest trying to more efficiently learn to switch from one chord to the next, because you'll make yourself a more efficient, better guitar player if you do so, versus getting too comfortable with one shape and then saying, oh wow, that's really good, maybe I should do that. You can jump into this, and then all I do for my next chord is that, and let these fingers go. Even if I'm still doing it this way, it's still just I would just hop up my ring finger and let go with my pointer and I'd hop up with my middle finger and let go with my pointer and ring to get to the quote-unquote A with C sharp in the bass. So there's my minor. I'm going to do it my crappy bad habit way. I am going to reach up with my pinky and mute my sixth string, or I just practice to not hit my sixth string, and that's one way to sort of get yourself. And I do, okay, for my B minor, there's my notes. For my A with C sharp in the bass, I mean, I could go, or even if I feel the need, nope, not like that. And I'm always making sure that my root is my C sharp. And if I need to, I either lightly touch the sixth string while I'm pressing down the fifth to mute it, or even go so far as to reach up with a finger and mute it, whatever finger. But I prefer to do just this sort of open version of it, which, like I said, figure out what works for you, what works for your group, that kind of thing. Those are the factors you'll need to consider if you're going to seriously cover this. Then for my D, which some of you know in standard tuning with no capo, is a C. But it becomes a D when you capo up 2, because 2 half steps equals a whole. So C, a whole step up would be D. So there you go. Now you're learning something about what a capo does to a guitar. And then a G. And technically I'm playing, I guess it's what would be considered a major seventh, and with an added note in the bass, which is harmonious, but and doesn't necessarily, it's the lowest note. And it's not, in my personal opinion, not very noticeable as a standalone bass note, especially maybe if you got a bass player who's going to be playing an octave, can be playing his G note, so which is lower than, and you'll notice they're harmonious when they're played together. So it shouldn't. If you're lazy and you do this like I do, you should be okay. I'm just showing you some nuanced stuff within these chord changes, if it matters to anyone, that you can take or leave. If you want to play it with your correct bass note represented, you go, or you even go so far as to or you can even do this. Or no. Shoot. Yeah. Like you. I'm sorry. You would do this. So that would sound like. If you want. If you have a bass player, that note's covered. I wouldn't sweat it. And you can do the little. And see. See, not a lot, in my opinion, not a terrible amount of difference unless you're like a meticulously picky person about what notes are played, and that you hear that stuff all the time. So yeah, so there's those 4 chords. They repeat. Oh, okay. There's your B minor, A with C sharp in the bass, D and G, and then we have another B minor, A with C sharp in the bass, D and A suspended A, and like I said. Rewind the tape, check the chart to understand what I'm saying there. So, a glimpse of truce just because. A glimpse of truce just because. So there's sort of a way, there's a strum pattern there to play those chords and see those A suspended. I kind of hammer on so to get to my A suspended. And I could even just not hammer on and go, you know, because it doesn't say A sus A, it just says A sus A, if that matters. Probably being too anal. Okay, here we go. It's always close. I close my eyes, hide the distance. And then we have the bridge. Okay, so these chords are a little, for me they were a little fancy. The B minor 6 is not something, I don't pull out 6 chords a lot, or minor 6, probably much at all. This chord kind of stretched me a little bit personally, mentally. I had to go to the notes and say, oh, okay, and then I had to go to the guitar and be like, oh, okay, and then I had it. But, so you can do a, and then, I reach up with my pinky. You know, I can always keep my 6th string muted with my ring and go. So you can hear that difference. And then it suggests a 7th, minor 7th. Back to the 6th. To that minor. And if you're the acoustic guy strumming, you're probably just going. And while your electric guitar player, who's probably got some kind of chorus effect or something on there, is going. And that starts at the 4th fret relative to your capo, so it's. Play the 4th, starting at the 4th string down to the 2nd. Something like that. Those notes are fairly close. I didn't meticulously figure out exactly which notes was going on there, but pretty darn close. Enchanted by the face of peace, and when it does Unsatisfied with simple things, entangled in the chords. I can't take any calls. And I stand here wondering, and I am waiting. And then we go into the and then we go into the second chorus. So it's just a matter of figuring out the changes in those, that B minor, the minor sixth, the minor seventh, back to the minor sixth, and then playing that F sharp minor, which I guess if you're considered doing what the electric guitar is doing, I think it's considered a ninth chord, what the electric guitar is doing. So it's a, there you go. So that arpeggiated ninth chord, I guess, if I'm speaking correctly, in musical terms. Let's move on to the second page. This video is already 20 minutes long. Okay. Here's our second chorus, and I you know, I don't think I said much in terms of a separate part. I just said it just keeps going. You could say that's a bridge, that in my ear is twisted, ... A glimpse of truce just because, ... You could call that a bridge, but I just didn't, you know, I just said, nah, typed it up, called it good. Pause the video, take a look, take some time, rewind the video, go back, we'll go over it. Let's go over it. Okay, so second chorus, my ear is twisted in all the thoughts, glimpse of truce just because. I think we're pretty much doing what we did in the first chorus in most respects. With the chords, you can rewind, like I said, rewind the video and see what the chords are. Yeah, I guess maybe I should have called that next part a bridge. So I'm not going to go over the second chorus since it's all review there. Let's go over the next part with the waiting around for that part. Let's do that. Let me do it with a guitar so it makes even more sense. Waiting around for some kind of peace, hoping you'll find me in my need. Screwed that up. Sorry. It's always almost never close. I close my eyes, I just. Okay. So there it was, second chorus, beginning to end, quote unquote second bridge, everything to the end. And I even, that last chord, it's like the song ends like ends up in a car accident, like something suddenly hits a wall, which is a very clever thing, and Jars pulled it off and was able to do that and showed their musical skill by doing so. This song kind of kicks the same amount of butt that, oh gosh, what's it called? Fade to Grey did. It's a rock song, or so quote unquote pop rock, you know, and they just kaboom with it, and show off, you know, another song that shows off their kind of prowess, I think, personally. But anyway, so we did the second chorus stuff that we knew already, and let me just pick that up again. If you look at where that B7 starts, the O that's in italics, then we have a C diminished seventh, then a C sharp minor, then a C sharp minor with a B. And so yeah. My ear is twisted. Sort of the chords are kind of weird there. But anyway, okay, so B7th, like. Okay. Hoping you'll find me in my need. Whoops. Let me try to bridge that and actually make it sound decent. Let me try it one more time. Let's see. It's more like a. Something like that. Anyway, more of that kind of a bluesy-ish bend there. That wasn't really transcribed there. So yeah. B7. To me, this starts to feel like a Beatles song a lot when I hear these chords. C diminished seventh, C minor, C minor with B in the bass, and then we repeat all that again, and then we have the A second, F sharp minor, A second, and that's the more of the, and then it goes back into the. My ear is twisted. So yeah, that. So the C diminished seventh. One thing I wanted to say is you're doing the B7 during the O's. You could even go so far as to do this, I think, on the C diminished seventh, because the bass does this thing where it goes. It's like it's kind of that in there. So that last note is which is a G sharp. So you could say C diminished with G sharp in the bass there if you wanted to, from your B7th. Let's see, how would I do that? I would do that. I'd probably do that with my ring and pinky finger, so I could just automatically right there for the C diminished seventh with G sharp in the bass. I would go. And I'm muting that low E when I'm doing my B7th when I reach up there, and that leaves it even more ready to play that C diminished seventh with the G sharp in the bass. So let's do that again. Oh shoot, I screwed that up. My ear is twisted. I'm Truce just because. you know, and then the rest of the song, which I played through. That ending, this sort of cheat, simple, best, retarded 5th grade way to end it is that way, instead of whatever Charlie brilliantly did on the piano. So much better than what I just did on the guitar. I'm admitting my shortcoming here. And maybe with my band, honestly, with my church band, if those guys listened to it, they could maybe plink it out, and then they could sort of follow them, and then we could play a very much more closely translated version of that ending from that song. And it would be a little hard because it is a little bit of a sudden stop. Like I said, it's sort of like a car hitting a wall. So, but if you want to get that effect, it's like you have to take the time to get it right to make sure the accident happens the way it's supposed to. The irony there. But yeah. But yeah, I feel like this video's pretty well explained everything I want to say, and it's 30 minutes long and all that. So, which most of my long tutorial videos are, and you're getting a full half-hour guitar lesson for free. So, if you're gonna complain, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that's pretty much the beginning, middle, and end for Truce that I have. So, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and we'll keep going with it here. And I won't promise not to remake this video or make it, you know, if I can make a better version of it, of course, I'd love to do that. Or if somebody else can, I would love to put their video in the playlist. I have no problem with people who are more able than myself to do good videos, better videos than myself, and of course post their videos on my channel so that they can get, you know, accreditation for what their hard work renders. So anyway, thanks guys. This wraps up Much Afraid, and for at least having a video for every song, so that's very exciting. I've got the first 2 records completely covered, and I'm moving on to If I Left the Zoo. So yeah, good stuff. Thanks again, and you know, keep learning. And like I said, if there's a way I can make these videos better, I do ramble sometimes. Maybe I should script myself a little more than I do even now. I've gotten somewhat scripted with the charts, and even I could probably get even more scripted if I wanted to. But yeah, thanks again, guys. God bless.